All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Hollywood. Um, Doing this for the first time, doing a little recording on talents. This is gonna be centered specifically on PvE. So, PvP and other things. If I decide to do a video on it, I'll do it separately. It's gonna be really quick. I'm not gonna go into it too in depth. Just straight up talents for right now, and like I said, in anything in other videos, I'll maybe go more in depth, other specs, Azurite powers, things like that. So right now, well, first a little bit about me. I've been playing Ret since Burning Crusade, off and on. As real life got in the way of certain things, I had to take a little time off. But now I'm back, and I'm back better than ever, stronger than ever, more focused than ever. I want to really spread the knowledge that I've accumulated over my years of playing WoW as a Paladin, as a whole as a Paladin, but specializing in Ret. I play tank and I play heals, but I specialize in Ret. I've always liked Ret. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Again, obviously if you're watching, but you should know this is your boy Hollywood. If you don't know, it's me, Hollywood. All right, I'm doing this straight off the bat, no editing transitions, so that's how we're gonna work it. Talents. So as you can see here, we got Zeal. You guys know what that does. Righteous verdict, execution of sentence. If you don't know, you're just starting off new and fresh, I'll give you a quick little rundown. Zeal, it kind of makes your auto attacks faster. So when you empower yourself with Zeal, let me throw it on and show you guys. Oh, we can't do that. I can't do it out here. All right, well, anyway, once you judge with Zeal, your next 3 auto attacks, as it says, it's going to be 30% faster and deal additional damage. This is usually best for clearing mobs and heroics or mythics or anything like that. It's really for the trash. Righteous verdict is obviously best for the single target. Once you do Templar's verdict once, then every other Templar's verdict that you do is increased by 15% for 6 seconds. So that's really good for single target bosses. Execution of sentence, it takes 3 holy power, and it'll drop a hammer down on the target, increasing the damage you do after you drop the hammer on that target for 20% for 12 seconds. So out of this line, I found out with testing, in my opinion, like I said, Zeal is good for trash, not too good on bosses. Righteous verdict is great for bosses, obviously not too good on trash because it's a single target move. Execution of sentence is just, it's not that it's bad, it's that it's just, you're going to be using so much holy, you have to use a lot of holy power, right? So you want to use execution of sentence, let's just say, okay, that's 3 holy power wasted. Now you got to use a righteous verdict, let's just say whenever you get it, which is 3 holy power to use. Then whatever other moves you're going to be using, let's say you take up Inquisition and stuff like that, which I'll get into a little bit later on, but it's a lot of holy power being spent, and it's a lot more to micromanage when it doesn't really do that much for you because it'll take you off of a rotation, right? So yeah, that's it for this line. Again, not again, but I want to say that this is not gospel. This is just what I've been trying and what I've been doing and using so far since the new expansion has come out till now. I don't know how things will change with when people theory craft with Azurite gear, so don't take this as the gospel right now. Once things change and once Azurite gear has been more researched, I'll do another video what I found and what I've calculated again. So go to the second line. Fire of Justice gives the cooldown of Crusader Strike 15% increase. The cooldown is not increased, is decreased by 15%, and grants a 50% chance to make your next ability consume less holy power. So that means if you use Crusader Strike, this, like let's say Templar's Verdict, will be 2 holy power instead of 3. You know, and so on and so forth. Whatever moves that use holy power will just go down 1. Pretty good. You know, I don't use it personally because it doesn't do that much damage. Yeah, it'll give you a little less holy power, but out of this line, to me, it's not. It hasn't done what these other 2 can do. Blade of Wrath, Art of War resets the cooldown of Blade of Justice by 100% more often and increases damage by 25%. This is probably one of our biggest damaging moves in our rotation. Definitely a good one, especially on single target bosses. You know, you get more Blade of Wrath, you get 2 holy power each time you use Blade of Wrath. So, you know, you do the math, that means more Templar's Verdict, blah, blah, blah. And the damage is damage goes higher, so it's really good. I use Hammer of Wrath. Now, the reason why I do use Hammer of Wrath is, well, what it does is it hurls a divine hammer that strikes an enemy for 1,000 holy damage, only usable on enemies that have less than 20% health, or while you are empowered with Avenging Wrath. So usually when I start off my rotation on a boss, we usually pop Avenging Wrath, and then we'll use Wake of Ashes. So once that rotation starts, I like Hammer of Wrath because it's an extra move which gives holy power. It doesn't say this here. Oh yes, it does. Sorry, it says it generates 1 holy power, right? So it generates 1 holy power, and it's a finishing move, which, in my opinion, since it also brings that, it gives you that holy power. To me, what I've tested, it works better than Blade of Wrath because you're leaving the RNG up, right? So what I mean by that is, if you pick the Blade of Wrath, it's still a chance to hit, right? It's still a chance to proc. If it procs for you a lot, then boom, you know, you're gonna get up a lot of damage. But I like to lessen the chance of the RNG controlling how I do damage, and this is more controlled damage. And it's good damage. Like I said, with Wings, you know, you get it while Wings is up, which Wings is up for what, 20 seconds, right? 20 seconds. So it's 20 seconds. It's in your rotation, and then all from 20% to down. And like I said, it generates holy powers, which you can put into your rotation, which also gives you more Templar's Verdict. So again, I mean, if I was to say which one to pick, I personally would choose either of these 2, but all of these are good, and they're all good in certain situations. Again, this is not gospel. You know, you got to try them out for yourself and see which ones you like. This is our CC line. Blinding Light is like a it's like our, not incapacitated, it's our daze, like, you know, Hunters, Scattershot, area effect, instant cast, minute and a half cooldown, not too bad. Repentance is our sap, long range, 15-second cooldown, pretty fast. 1 minute, pretty good. Fist of Justice, this is pretty good for a hard CC, and each holy power spend reduces it by 2 seconds. So they're all really good, just depending on where you're going. I'm pretty sure once Mythic Plus come out, any rep paladins going in there, they're going to be using Repentance. You're going to need the CC. There's just so much trash mobs that, you know, you can tell it's going to be pretty good. All right, so next line, each enemy hit with an ability consumes holy power. Increase the damage of your next judgment by 20%, stacking up to 15 times. And we got Consecration. Everybody knows Consecration is AoE on the floor, and Wake of Ashes. With my testing, what I've done, not even with really just testing, just how it feels, and, you know, as I've been using it, Wake of Ashes without a doubt. Consecration, I would see it more viable when you're fighting or doing like a patchwork kind of boss. And when I mean patchwork, I mean like a DPS race. When you're really trying to get as much DPS as possible, maybe I could see Consecration working because you're not moving the boss, right? But so many of these mythic dungeons is so much stuff going on that you can't really just sit down in a Consecration. It's just not really happening. Divine Judgment, to be honest with you, I never used it. Each enemy hit with ability could do is holy that consumes holy power increases the. So this is more for like I would say trash mobs just by reading it. So like if you use Divine Storm, so you see each enemy hit by an ability that consumes holy power increases the damage of your next judgment by 20%. So I can see this more for trash mobs. Could work. Again, I haven't really tested it that much because, you know, us as paladins, we're never gonna be top for trash mobs. You know, like it's just not our kit. And to me, it would be silly to try to make us something that we're not, you know, or try to put into talents that is not gonna make us stronger in what we already do that's strong, right? It's like making us weaker in our single target ability to try to get us moderately decent in AoE in trash mobs. It's not gonna happen. So I mean, but then again, like I said, not gospel. Check it out, try it. If you like it, you know, let me know in the comments. This next 9, everything is pretty good. Unbreakable Spirit reduces the cooldown of all your defensive abilities by 30%. When I say defensive abilities, Bubble, Lay on Hands, Shield of Vengeance, very good. Cavalier, 2 charges of, you know, a little horsey, and eye for an eye, like our physical damage shield, if you will. Surround yourself with a blade buckward, reducing physical damage taken by 35% and dealing some of the damage back. 1300, about 1300 physical damage to any melee attackers for 10 seconds. All of these are pretty good. So far, I may have this on now. It was just because of the situation that I was previously in our last mythic, but I like Cavalier. And like I said again, these mythics have been really crazy. There's a lot of things that, a lot of little nuances that you have to do to make sure you get through. A lot of them are not really DPS races. 9 times out of 10, these mythics haven't been DPS races. So I would go with Cavalier. Right now, how mythics have been going, definitely I see more of the value in Cavalier than these two. Later on, it might be a little bit different. I'm not saying that the other two are not bad in these instances because, you know, Breakable Spirit, you know, that Shield of Vengeance has helped me out a lot to keep DPSing while I'm getting focus, which also in turn, once the bubble breaks, you know, you're still doing damage to everybody and, you know, it's still helping you out. So it's definitely really good, especially to keep pressure. Unbreakable Spirit is really good. Same thing for Eye for an Eye. Just the only reason why I'll put this lower down in the tier is that you're not really going to be getting focused by physical that much. I mean, unless the tank is not doing his job. So this line is going to be Selfless Healer. Your holy spending abilities reduce the cast time of your next flash of light by 25% and increases its healing done by 10%, stacks up to 4 times. Justicar Vengeance is our 5-point holy power spender. Focus holy energy to deliver a powerful strike that deals 6,759 holy damage and restores health equal to the damage done, and damage increased by 50% when the target is stunned. And Word of Glory, you heals a friendly target and 2 most injured targets within 30 yards for 27,000, almost 28,000. I personally go with Word of Glory. It might be a holy power spender, but see, so let's think of it this way. You don't want to sit there and cast heals if somebody's about to die. Now, granted, both of them are very good. And you could choose either or. It just really depends. I personally like Word of Glory because yes, it might cost holy power, and you might in turn bring down your DPS down a little bit because you have to use Word of Glory so that you won't have the holy power to spend on DPS. But the heal is crazy and it's instant. This is an oh shit heal. You know, this is a heal where the tank is about to die, the heal is about to die. You know, you got to make a quick decision. This is what you do. You know, you do Word of Glory. You don't want to sit there and try to cast a heal, you know, in the clinch, you know, when it's clutch. You know, you either do that or you throw a Lay on Hands. You know, you do something. You got to do something quick. And since you have to cast, even though it's gonna be fast or faster, it's pretty much going to be instant. It's just the whole simple fact that you have to stop and take the time to heal. You know what I'm saying? When that's just it's right away. Again, I see the value in both, you know, because you don't have, if you don't take Word of Glory, you don't have to spend 3 holy power to heal. You can, you know, and you can use this and get a pretty good heal and keep your holy power for damage. Like I said, it's not gospel. It's all up to your personal preference. I've seen many a paladin, red paladin use selfless healer, so it's up to you. Justicar Vengeance is a definite no. 5 holy power spend is way too much. And to get the most benefit out of this, you gotta have a stun target. You can't stun bosses and trash mobs. You know, yeah, you'll maybe be able to stun them, but I mean, to spend 5 holy power to hopefully stun a trash mob, it's not worth it. So this, and again, this is for PvE. So, you know, PvP, I can see someone maybe saying, you know, this is worth it. PvE, definite no. Last line here, Divine Purpose. Your abilities that consume holy power have a 15% chance to make your next holy ability, your next ability that consumes holy power free and deal an additional 30% increased damage and healing. Crusade replaces Avenging Wrath. Call upon the light and begin a crusade, increasing your damage done and haste by 3% for 25 seconds. Each holy power spend during crusade increases damage done and haste by an additional 3%, maximum 10 stacks. An Inquisition, you could use anywhere from 1 to 3 holy power and consumes up to 3 holy, like I said, consumes up to 3 holy power. Increases your damage done and haste by 7%. Lasts 15 seconds per holy power consumed. So what's that? 15, 30, 45 seconds. And I actually, when you use 3 holy power, it actually goes to a minute. I'm not too sure, but every time I've seen it and I've used 3 holy power, it's up. Actually, you know what? We can't try it right here because I gotta go to a rest zone. And I'm by the training dummies. I was testing out some damage. But anyway, at least up to 45 seconds, you'll get 7% increased damage and haste. In this line, it's out of Inquisition and Divine Purpose. I just actually started using Divine Purpose. I was using Inquisition because to me, Inquisition is just really fun to use. It's like haste. Any haste increase in moves make melee feel so much fun. Not only that, you know, as we're paladins, you know, it also helps our casting for Flash of Light. You know, goes really good with Divine Judgment if you're using it in tandem to help out if you need to heal. You know, we are, as Paladin DPS, you know, we're probably not always going to be the top in DPS, but we can be those people that, oh, you know, I was grateful to have that Paladin in the group because, you know, he helped me out before I was going to die or whatever. You know, our support abilities are very strong. So, you know, that's just a little bit extra with the haste. So I like Inquisition because it's very fun to use. It does take a little bit getting used to in the sense that you need to figure out your rotation, to include Inquisition in it. It does last a good amount of time, so it's not like you're always you know, that you always need to worry about it. But the fact of the matter is that you need to worry about it. Bosses don't go down in a minute. You know, probably may need to refresh Inquisition possibly 2 or 3 times on these. And this is non-mythic pluses. Remember that when mythic pluses come out, you know, bosses might be harder, they might be longer, so you might be refreshing it, you know, 3 to 4 times, you know. So you just got to get it. Once you get used to it, it's very fun. The haste is really good. So yeah, I mean, it's a good move. It's between this and Divine Purpose. Divine Purpose, I mean, it's just so juicy. When you get those procs, let's say for instance, you get a Righteous Verdict proc, and boom, you hit one. Then you get the free, you know, you get the free next Holy Spender. Boom, you hit another one. Then boom, you hit another one. These two in tandem are so strong. 15% increase to the next Templar's Verdict. So after you do one, then the next one is 15% increase, and then on top of that, you get a free one, and it's 30% damage increase. When those procs are procking, is powerful. Again, like I said before, I hate to have, you know, the RNG take over. but you know, that's just kind of what the Paladin is, you know, to an extent. Um, you know, sustained damage, you know, very high burst damage. You know, it's really up to you. But they're both fun and they're both worth it. You know, you can never go wrong with Inquisition. So that's why Inquisition I would give you maybe a little bit of a bump, because it's all purpose. But divine purpose, like I said, you're leaving it into the hands of the RNG gods, and you know, they could give it to you or they could not. So, but I've been trying it out so far. It's worked pretty well for me. The only reason why, to me, Inquisition I think hasn't been working is because we're not what we used to be, right? And just if I go on a little bit of a tangent, when we had Seal of Command, for those of you that are new to Rep Paladin or don't remember Seal of Command was back in Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King. I think they took it out after Wrath, and it procced on auto attack. So back then, if we would have had Inquisition, it would have been nuts, because Seal of Command, oh man, I loved Seal of Command, and I don't know why they took it out. You know, Blizzard, you know, if you're listening, if you ever get to see this, bring back Seal of Command. I loved Seal of Command. I mean, it was such a great move. I can see why a lot of people maybe didn't like it, or that wasn't the vision they wanted to continue to have, but whatever. Anyway, that was just a tangent, but I could see how it would work better when, you know, in the old way Paladins used to work, where, you know, we had a seal, it lasted for a certain amount of time, and per auto attack it would proc. You know, so then the haste, obviously, it gives you more of a chance to proc those abilities. So that's where I could see Inquisition a little bit falling off to where Divine Purpose is, because now, since we have that holy power, I mean, getting those free procs, like I said, man, it feels so good. Crusade is probably a burn. The reason why is, okay, so regular Avenging Wrath, like I said, it replaces Avenging Wrath. Avenging Wrath right now, it increases your damage, healing, and critical strike chance by 20%. So if you take this, you're taking away the critical strike, and I think the healing, yeah, and the healing, and it'll only increase your damage and haste, right? So now, not only that, you have to rev this up. So you have to rev this up to get to 10 stacks, which after the 10 stacks, it's a 30% increased damage and haste, which is nice, but you have to think about how much holy power you're going to generate to get to those 10 stacks. So let's just say, in a perfect world, you get the 10 stacks within 10 seconds. That's reasonable. That's 15 seconds that you have left to maximize Crusade. And that's the problem. Since you have to rev it up, you may not get that chance to rev it up, especially how some of these mythics go with the moving around and everything like that. You may not get that 15 seconds. You may get less. So the simple fact that you have to rev this up is what brings down the value. At least with Avenging Wrath, it's right off the bat, 20% increase to everything. Let's go. You know, so that's what kind of brings this one down. You know, if they were to fix this a little bit, and maybe, I don't even know, I would take, I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you right now. All I know is just the way it is now, by revving it up, it doesn't add up. Maybe putting it so just adding the haste and leaving, you know, crit and healing and, you know, damage, and increase it by 20%, like leaving all of those things and not taking stuff away from us. I think that would make it a little bit better, you know, a little bit at least more worth it. But to take away something and just add haste, nah, I'm not with it. So yeah, that's it for the talents. You know, I didn't want to make this too long of a video. Yeah, that's really about it. I don't really have anything else much to say. Once, like I said, things start to reveal itself, more people do some theory crafting on the Azerite gear and combinations, I'll post up another video. I'll also do a video on Pride, Holy, because I love the Paladin. I love all the specs. You know, So you know, I'll give a little rundown tutorial on that. Um, yeah. Oh, check out. I'll put the link down to my Twitch when I'm live streaming. So if you guys need any help with mythics, or heroics, you know, I usually do some pro bono work, if you will, and just run people through, just for the hell of it, for just for, you know, shits and gigs, just to get people up there, just to get the community growing. You know, help people out. I like to give. I like to help. You know, so wherever I can help you guys, you know, just let me know. Positive love, positive vibes, blessings to everybody. Thank you for checking this out, and I hope to see y'all on the next one.